A young apprentice hunter and her father journey to Ireland to wipe out the last wolf pack. But everything changes when she befriends a free-spirited girl from a mysterious tribe rumored to transform into wolves by night. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with a brand new review, and today we're talking about the Apple TV Plus fantasy adventure animated film, Wolfwalkers. I'm really excited to let you all know what I thought about this film in this non-spoiler review. Before we dive into it, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you all are following me on all my other social media accounts. That way you all can stay up to date on what's going on over here at Movie Files. If you are new to the channel, welcome to this community. Consider subscribing, and while you're at it, hit the notification bell. That way you can get the alert for when I drop new movie reviews, TV reviews, live streams, all the fun things we do on this channel. It would mean a lot to me if you all can share this video and give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel, but I also really appreciate it. And in the comments, let me know if you were excited to see this film, and once you all have seen it, let's discuss it all. Your positives, your negatives, what you think of the animation style, the characters, the story, and what are some of your favorite animated films from this year. Let's discuss it all in the comments below. So Wolfwalkers had a lot of great things said about it when it premiered at TIFF this past September. People calling it the best animated film this year. Well, I'm here to discuss it, starting off with the positives. I gotta say, this was easily one of the best looking films I've seen this year. The way that they creatively used the 2D style animation was so incredible. I think the way that the film uses its color, the richness within the world that they're building, and the framing of the shots were so impressive. For example, when we get the POV of the wolves running through the forest, as we're seeing their spirits and their essence, we're seeing them hunting, we're seeing their scent, the way that they see was just so incredible, the way they displayed that. And that goes to the thanks of the directors behind this film, Tomm Moore and Stewart, and the incredible creative team, including the production team, Cartoon Saloon, who I've never seen one of their films before, but after seeing this film, I will definitely go back and check it out because I was just so impressed by the way that they put this film together, as well as the direction behind this movie. I gotta talk about the voice cast. I thought everyone that was casted fit so perfectly within the role, highlighting some characters starting off with my man Sean Bean, who I love it that he plays a wolf hunter by the name of Bill Goodfellow, and he is a hunter, and he uses a lot of phrases like Lord Protector for all my Game of Thrones fans out there. There's a lot of Game of Thrones vibe as far as Ned Stark goes, so I love that he was in this film, and I love his relationship with his daughter, which, speaking of his daughter, the best parts of this movie were our two main characters, Ruben and Meb. I love their characters. I love what they have to say about these characters. They literally come from two different worlds. Ruben being the daughter of a wolf hunter, and she just wants to be a wolf hunter on her own, so she really admires what her dad does. And then you have Meb, who is a wolf walker. She has her own pack of wolves, and again, you have these two different families. One is a wolf, loves wolves, and the other is trying to take out this pack of wolves. So you have two different and different points of views, different parts of life that they come from. So you kind of know what kind of goes into this story and regarding getting them on the same page. And that's where the film really has the heart. That's where the heart comes in, right? Because you're seeing these people come together as they're realizing they have a lot more in common than they do in differences. One being the absence of their parents. You have Ruben, whose dad is in her life, physically speaking, but he's not really there emotionally for Ruben. And the same goes for Meb for different reasons. Her mom is technically physically there, but not really there emotionally for her, and once you see the film, you know what I'm talking about. So they have that in common, which makes their bond kind of come together, and they have that connection there, and I love that kind of parallel in the storylines. The way that the first half of this film, to me, does such a great job of welcoming its audience into this world of wolves and magic, to me, was just handled so well. And also, it's very accessible to kids in regards to the storyline and the themes and things of that nature, but also, I was very impressed by the mature nature of this film. As the film goes on, it starts off very kiddie, which was fine. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but as the stakes go up, as things become more serious, as Ruben kind of gets more involved within this wolf pack, the film has a lot of mature themes. In particular, I think of the antagonist of this film, who is the Lord Protector. He has a very religious way of controlling this town and how the town follows his ways. And there's a lot of different moments in this film where it gets dark and very sinister. And I was very surprised by that because this film is rated PG. It is very kid-friendly. There are some wolves attacking people, nothing bloody or whatnot, but I was very impressed by the mature nature of this film, which brings me into, not diving into the spoilers, but in regards to the themes I took away from this film. One being how important it is to be a part of a pack, right? And how important that family unit can be, as well as inclusion, and also never judging a book by its cover. I really love, there's a lot more other themes that you can find within this film, but those were definitely some that stood out. The incredible soundtrack in this film and also the impressive score. I love going back to the soundtrack. The song Running with Wolves by Aurora, there's a particular moment when that song comes in and it fits perfectly within that scene. So, you know, production-wise, is one of the best looking films I've seen. The direction was strong. The voice casting was great. The story's there. The messaging's there. I was very impressed by this film, but there were some things I want to kind of, you know, bring up in my criticisms. I kind of talked about it a little bit in regards to as the film goes on, it gets more serious. The stakes are really there in this film. Like, I was really worried for our characters. But before we get to that second and third act where things are risen to the more mature nature of the story, the first half is kind of kiddish to me. The first 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is a very kid-friendly type of film. It might not go to those levels that it eventually did. So I will say, for me, the first half wasn't as compelling just because it was a little bit more childish than the second and third act, but that's something that stood out to me. As well as another thing that comes to mind, this film does have some twists and turns, some things I didn't really see coming, but I will say there are some familiar things that you've seen before in other films, whether it be the motivations of our villain of this film, whether it be certain plot points that you've seen, you kind of knew where things were headed, but, you know, it was very predictable at times. But I will say there were a couple surprises every now and then. But lastly, I will say when it comes to, I was so impressed by these Wolfwalkers and the lore and the magic and the essence of the spirit of how you can be a human in the daylight and be a wolf at night, and how Ruben kind of gets mixed into that whole storyline and other characters without getting too involved in it and giving away too much from it. But I love so much about the Wolfwalkers. I wish we could have dove a little deeper. Again, I know it's a kid-friendly film. There's less than, it's like an hour and 45-minute film, but I would have loved to have gotten a little bit more lore and mythology about the Wolfwalkers, because to me, it was just so impressive. I love that world. I wish we could have spent a little bit more time in there, which to me, again, speaking to the human world of this town back in the 1650s versus the wolves and the pack and being in the forest and the wolves are the more compelling side of the story to me, so I wish we would have just spent a little bit more time in that world. But those are literally the only little things that I had as far as my cons. Before I give you guys my overall thoughts, make sure if you haven't liked this video, share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and of course subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other content. With that being said, let me give you all my overall thoughts and give you my score for Wolfwalkers. So overall, I believe that Cartoon Saloon and Apple TV Plus may have a front runner on their hands for the best animated film this year. The 2D animation is absolutely stunning. The voice cast and the direction and the overall production is incredible. The film manages to truly have stakes and have some really mature themes with some great visuals to match those themes, while still maintaining being a kid-friendly film with some great themes in regards to inclusion and finding your pack really hit home. The film allows its audience imagination to run wild, and this was truly a magical film. With that being said, I'm going to give Wolfwalkers on Apple TV Plus a 4.5 out of 5. I highly recommend you all give it a watch. Like I said, it is available today on Apple TV Plus, December 11th on this Friday, so check it out, and when you do, let me know what you all thought about the film, the visuals, the characters, the story, and what are some of your favorite animated films this year. I have to say, without any particular order, I'm thinking I love this film, Wolfwalkers, Over the Moon on Netflix, and Soul are probably my 3 favorite animated films this year. But again, let me know your top 3, your top 5 animated films that you've seen this year. As always, make sure to like, share, comment your thoughts below. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other content. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you on the next video.